All right, what is going on, future millionaires? We got a special treat today. I got one of my good friends, 𝗖𝗥𝗬𝗣𝗧𝗢, from the 𝗖𝗥𝗚𝗏𝗏 Show. He's grown tremendously on YouTube, and so I want to give him time to kind of get things settled in the backstage, give people time to come on as well. If you're on the stream right now, let us know how the quality and also how the audio sounds as well, if you can. All right, but yeah, like I said, I have a good friend, my man 𝗖𝗥𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗢, coming onto the show. His YouTube channel link is in the description, so go over there and give him a subscribe as well. And we will be answering questions later on in the stream. So, 𝗖𝗥𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗢, man, thanks for coming onto the show, brother. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. It's a Friday afternoon. I'm in sunny Southern California. It's crypto's looking a little bit decent right now. It's in the red right now. But besides that, Mike, as you know, we're playing the long-term game here with crypto. But I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Been super busy, man, super busy. And first and foremost, man, on the air, I want to say congrats, man, on going full time, dude, because this is a like almost a dream come true. Of course, we're gonna keep crushing it, but man, congrats. So if you are in the stream, put a congrats in the comment section for my guy,
Let's
𝗖𝗥𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗢.
let's go. Thank you, bro. Yeah, it was a long time coming. I know when you first did it, I was like, damn, I want to get there one day. And it takes time, man. It takes time. It took me about a year in the content, role, creating content, the YouTube, the Twitter, to make that leap. But it just feels incredible, man. I was working a corporate job. For those out there that are listening, in the corporate world, like it's tough. Meetings every day. I was in sales too, so internal meetings and quotas and manager meetings and customer calls, and yeah, it was tough. So it feels like such a weight off my shoulders to be able to do this full time, man. I'm super grateful.
And that is what's up. That is what's up, man. So if you don't mind sharing, not just a lot, your whole backstory, but what made you just say, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna just go full time. I've gotten to that level.
Well, I have to give credit where credit's due. And about a year ago today, I didn't even have a YouTube channel. I think I just downloaded a Twitter and got on Twitter in January. And I was trying to find out how to transfer money from one of my accounts into Voyager. And guess whose video came up on YouTube? None other than Mike the Investor. And I go, damn. And I always say this, and I always mean it with the most respect. I know I've told this story a few times, but I was like, if he can do it, I can do it too, right? You were making content. I was like, his content's really good. Like, I'm gonna start making content. So I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you. I'll always give credit where credit's due. And you've also been a huge help and a mentor to me in this space. But what really made me go on to crypto was I was always creating content. And before I was making crypto content, I was talking about, bringing on people that were in the health industry, the fitness industry, CEOs, like people that I really respected in the business industry. And to be honest, that industry is pretty saturated, right? Like, let's be honest. Like, how many times are you going to go on and listen to a podcast about a guy that just started a gym? Pretty cool stuff. Like, obviously, it's fun. But I did one podcast with somebody about Bitcoin and crypto, and it got like 10 times the amount of views that I usually got. And I was like, okay, like let's kind of stay on this. Let's start talking about crypto. Crypto's the hot industry. And dude, just one thing led to the other. And here we are today, sitting here in February, and I'm going full time doing the crypto thing.
Man, that is awesome. That is awesome. Once again, congrats to you. Congrats. And so, man, the crypto has been a whirlwind. We've seen crazy pumps and we've seen crazy pullbacks.
Yep.
So let's take a brief look at the crypto market, man, and just see what is going on here. So we can see right now we are down about 4.8%. Can you see my screen okay, Mr.
Yep.
Jake?
Yeah, everything looks
awesome. Good. So yeah, we are down about 4.8%. We're still above that 2 trillion. Bitcoin still above 42,000, right under that 43,000. We got ETH hanging on to that 3,000
barely
price ticker.
Barely.
So man, what are your thoughts, man? How are you feeling?
I feel good, man. I mean, obviously, we just went through a little bit of a bear market in January. We started off the year, everybody was very bullish. We went into a little bit of a bear market here in January. Things started to pick back up, and now we're kind of seeing some pullbacks again. But I mean, we talk about this, we preach this all the time. It's like we're so early to cryptocurrency, man. It's 2022. We're just now starting to see this mass adoption, and you're starting to see it in terms of these major exchanges and companies start to sponsor different arenas and sports teams and the Super Bowl's coming up. Imagine how many commercials we're going to see, probably 5 to 10 crypto commercials. So we're just now starting to see this wide scale adoption for cryptocurrency. And ultimately, I'm bullish on this thing long term, man. This is a long term play for me. It's something that I'm going to be investing in 2030, 2040, 2050. So I try not to look at the charts too much on a daily basis. I think that it's going to continue to go up, going to continue to go down. But that's the game that we play. Like, it's a volatile market. And I know I talked to you about this. You came on my stream about a month or two ago, and I was like, Mike, like, how are you feeling about this? Like, look, man, I'm holding long term. Like, I'm not selling my ETH or my Bitcoin because I understand where this is going. And I feel the same way. Like, we are so early as the government, especially in America, continues to mess up and do whatever they're doing with, inflation and printing dollars. Like, crypto just becomes that much more sexy. So I'm in this for the long term. I'm 26 and I'm planning on talking about crypto and owning crypto and holding crypto until I'm 86, right? Like, this is not a short-term game for me, especially these top 10 tokens that we talk about.
I agree with you. And I mean, one thing I say as well, crypto has made the fastest millionaires, the fastest billionaires.
Oh, yeah.
And so with that being said, a lot of people, newer investors, it's hard to be kind of patient. It's hard to kind of have that long-term scope of things because you hear all these stories. Man, this person made such and such in 6 months, a year. Yeah, it's possible, but how often does that happen? And then, we don't really hear some of the stories how they just happen to buy it at the right time. You know what I mean? Or how long have they been holding before that pump actually happened? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of, things that happen in there that newer investors aren't really brought aware of.
Yeah, it's a lottery ticket. A lot of these like smaller tokens, and I kind of talk about the smaller tokens. I think like 75 to 80% of my holdings is in the top 10, but the content I make is around these like smaller, newer altcoin community driven tokens, and it's a lottery ticket, man. Like, yeah, those stories are out there. If you invested in SHIB in April of 2021 and you put in $1,000, like, yeah, it turned into $1 million, right? Like those stories are out there. If you invested in 𝗖𝗢𝗬𝗑 in June of 2021 and then you sold at the top or whatever, like $1,000 turned into $1 million. Like, it's crazy. It's possible, but it's also not likely. And I think that's what people need to realize. Like, it depends on your strategy, dude. Like, if you're in it, like for me, right? I'm 26. I'm single. I don't have kids. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have a car payment. I don't have student loans. Like, I can probably take more risks than the average human being. So I can kind of gamble. I don't like to do that because I've lost a lot of money in this DeFi space. But I think people need to get away. Like, yes, you can probably put in a little bit of money and make a lot. Those opportunities are out there. But I don't think people should come into crypto thinking that, because ultimately I feel like that's almost how you get burned. Like, I think if you take the long-term approach and say, hey, I'm going to start putting in $10, $20, $30 a week into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, that's probably a better strategy long-term. Unless you are in a position to gamble, like we talked about.
I agree. And I think what you said was very key. Understanding like your risk tolerance. You know what I mean? Like me, I'll be 30 this year. Will you be 27 or you already turned 26?
27 this year in June.
Awesome. So me, I'm a few years ahead, but I didn't go full time until April of last year, when I was 29. And so this is what crypto can do for you. Because me personally, I'm not using any of my crypto assets to live off of. And I don't think you are either.
No, I mean, we have a job at, YouTube, like YouTube, you can make money on YouTube and the Patreon. And of course, like I always take profits. Like, I think you and I actually do different with our investments. Like I do take profits on my tokens. And when I started this year, I had $26,000 in student debt. $26,000 in student debt. So a lot of the cryptos that I was up big on, I took some profits and I paid off my student debt. Like, I always think that you need to take care of what you can. Like, crypto is a good tool to do that. But yeah, ultimately it's like, I'm holding my stuff long-term, man. It's like long-term, like what's the price of Bitcoin going to be in 2050? Right? Or what's Ethereum and Solana going to look like in 2050? It's like, I think that these things are going to be here long term, and it's going to be amazing because there's so much money coming in, and crypto's really starting to meet the mainstream. And like, you realize it's reaching mainstream when you go into the barbershop and they're talking about cryptocurrency now.
Yeah, and you could just see all of the professional sports that are just coming on board. I mean, it's crazy, and this is just a huge show of just the crypto adoption. When we talk about NFTs as a talk, I mean, I think this is going to be another year for NFTs. If we look at what it did last year, I think it started at what, 44 million to what, over 1 billion? I mean, that's crazy, dude.
Billions, yeah. NFTs are that's another thing that's coming mainstream. And even when I first heard about NFTs, man, I was like, what? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, why am I going to spend $10,000 on a JPEG? And then I really started to understand like what these things are and the utility that they bring and the communities that they're building and like how it's no different. Like look, the same way that people value the blue check mark and the amount of followers and likes they get, it's the same thing with art. You know, collecting these NFTs is almost a status symbol that we're seeing with the Bored Ape Yacht Club. How many celebrities own a Bored Ape Yacht Club? Justin Bieber, Meek Mill, Gunna, Lil Baby, Jimmy Fallon, Paris Hilton. You can tell I've done a lot of videos on the Bored Ape Yacht Club, but it's a status symbol. So it's like, look, I'll be honest with you. Nike just dropped their first ever NFT about a week ago.
And it went crazy.
And I bought two because guess what? It's Nike's first ever NFT. Now put yourself back in 1980 or 1985, whenever Nike probably first dropped their shoes. People were probably like, oh, it's a Nike shoe. Like, what is it? But now we understand how much that's worth, right? So NFTs are going to be big. We're seeing companies come into NFTs. We're seeing people start to understand the value. We're seeing a lot of NFTs come about with some real utility. And Gary Vee's leading the charge in that. And ultimately, I think that NFTs are going to be a big play and will be here long term as well. And I think that those are going to be big for ecosystems like Solana, Ethereum, and these different tokens that NFTs are really built off of.
I agree, man. Look at this right here. Bored Ape, highest sale, 1.3 million. Can you see this?
Yeah, we can see that. That's insane. That's actually insane. It's actually insane,
man. 3.1 million. I mean, and when you think about art as a general, just the physical aspect, it's a $1 trillion industry. And I don't think some people understand this when NFTs came out. When you look at the physical aspect, a lot of wealthy people use art to hedge their bet, to save their wealth. Is in art. This is why it's a $1 trillion industry. It's now moving to digital, to the blockchain. And I think when people wrap their heads around that, like me, I'm not a huge person into physical art, but now when you take it to the digital aspect, to NFTs, it makes it more fun. And now you can actually understand why it makes sense.
It makes sense, dude. It makes sense to me. It's not going to make sense to everybody. It might not make sense today, but look, it doesn't have to make sense to you today. Like that's one thing that I'm learning, man. Like when I first heard about cryptocurrency in Bitcoin, it didn't make sense and I didn't invest. And guess what? If I would have just done my research and studied and not try to make it make sense for me necessarily, but more try to understand the macro view of this and how it makes sense for a lot of people, I would be in a different position. But yeah, I honestly think that NFTs, like they don't make 100% of sense, but you have to understand like, hey, the metaverse is coming, right? Like people are going to be fully entrenched in that world. And how cool is it going to be if you have a Bored Ape Yacht Club or a Mutant Ape Yacht Club to be like, yo, Mike, we're in the metaverse. Come check out this art that I own, right? So yeah, it's a weird phenomenon. I never thought that I would have those words come out my mouth where I'm like, yeah, it makes sense to spend $50,000 on a piece of JPEG, like a piece of digital art, but it's starting to make more sense every single day. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of money to be made in cryptocurrency, and there's a lot of money to be made in NFTs as well.
I agree. And as me and you kind of talk, man, behind the scenes, that we've been looking more and more into NFTs. We've been posting about it. We've been making certain videos on it. So, I mean, dude, it's been nuts, man. So tell me, what is your number one NFT right now, whether you own it or don't own it, that you're kind of pumped about? And I'm going to give you mine.
Yeah. So right now, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, I own two of them. And it's almost like you see with the Bored Ape Yacht Club, like the floor price of Bored Ape Yacht Club was around, it went to 116 ETH. It sits around 100 right now, or probably a little under. But ultimately, the Mutant Ape Yacht Club I can't afford 100 ETH for a JPEG. Like that's $500,000, $400,000. It's not going to happen. But the Mutant Ape Yacht Club is almost like the sister token, if you will, right? Like it's the sister project. So I own two of those. I think that the way that I'm looking at it is like, hey, not everybody can afford a Bored Ape Yacht Club, but a lot of people can afford a mutant, right? Like a lot of celebrities that haven't got in probably can afford a Mutant Ape Yacht Club. So I own two of these. I'm bullish on these long term. And the Bored Ape Yacht Club is the company is releasing a token where holders of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and the Bored Ape Kennel Club all get exclusive access to certain things and get utility with it. So this is a long-term hold for me. The Mutant Ape Yacht Clubs, I own two of these, and yeah, I'm bullish on these long-term, and I'm holding them long term. Not even going to think about selling it until probably around the year of 2025. Like, yeah, it's insane.
Got you. So I'm guessing you got in pretty low then when the floor price wasn't as crazy.
I think the floor price for the first one I bought was around 12, but I bought like a super rare one. And then I think the floor when I bought the next one was like 23, and I bought pretty much the floor price, but it went up to 27 ETH. It went down a little bit. It'll probably keep going up. But I remember having this conversation on a stream. It was around 12, and I had a guest on, and he goes, and Christine's in the chat. We got to give a quick shout out to Christine. Love you, Christine. Happy Friday. But I had a person on, and he was like, I can't justify spending 12 ETH on an NFT. And I was like, let's just check back in a little bit and let's see where it goes. And obviously it went up to 27 ETH, right? So it's one of those gambles. These aren't guaranteed, but just when I see what happens with the Bored Ape Yacht Club, I also believe that we're going to see similar things here with the Mutant Ape Yacht Club. And Mike, we can check back in a month or 2 months. Right now we're sitting around a 20 ETH floor. Let's see where it's at in about 2 months. Let's check back in and see if the purchases were good purchases.
Yeah. And so for me, and I'm before I get to mine, I'm guessing this is more so kind of like that same type of, not all bragging rights, but the exclusivity, the wealth that comes with it, kind of like the Bored Ape is kind of like your reason for holding this. Is that correct? Am I
on that a little bit? One, they're dope art, right? It's cool art. Two, it's a great community. Like, 3, you get the Bored Ape Yacht Club token, the ape token, which is going to be dropping. It should be dropping here in Q1 or Q2. It's going to give you guys, it's going to give holders certain access and like exclusive benefits. So every time a transaction happens or the ape token is bought or sold, you actually earn income, passive income for holding an ape or a mutant ape or a Bored Ape Kennel Club. So yeah, it's all those 3 things combined. Like, look, I am prepared, Mike. If this goes to 0, I am prepared. I invested it just like I do in crypto. If it goes to 0, well, then so be it. But I do think that this is going to be a long-term play. And like I said, we're at 20 floor right now. I bought my first one at 12. I bought my second one a little bit over. And let's check back in 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year, and see where that floor price is. But no one thought Bored Ape Yacht Club was going to go to 100 ETH. It went to 116, right? So hopefully one day we're having the same conversation. That floor price is at 100, and then we're in a different position, and I'm flying us out to Bahamas, and we're taking a nice little vacation.
Man, no doubt, man, no doubt. So now I'm gonna show you, man, because I just kind of I've been into NFTs, but actually getting into the utility of them probably been the last 45 to 60 days. I first started off just kind of buying cool art, right? And then I'm like, well, how do you actually make money from these instead of just waiting for the floor price to go up and then sell, right? What other utility do they have? Now, this is one of the ones I'm bullish on personally that I've got in recently. And they have 2 different collections. They have a total of 11,111. Now, 10,000 are called the Original Gamblers. Now, the Original Gamblers, what this project is doing is they're building basically the Las Vegas Metaverse Casino and Sandbox, as well as Decentraland. They have already purchased 320,000 worth of land inside of those together, and they're building as we speak. So things should be live around September. And the beautiful thing about this is, yes, the artwork is dope. However, you get 50% back on profits, right? And that's split among the 10,000 NFTs. So if you own more than one, imagine how much that's going to come, right? And I can give you some numbers here in a second, but this is where things get really interesting. This is what's super dope. This is the exclusive ones. And I also own one of these.
Nice.
And you can see the floor price is a little bit higher than the Original Gamblers because there's only 1,111 of these. Now, these get 30%. Now, if you understand the gambling industry, it is a $1 trillion industry. Now, these only get 30%. They get exclusive parties. They're going to have Vegas meetups and stuff like that, virtually and physically. However, you take $1 million and you split that among 10,000 people. That's $100 in passive income each month that they're going to be paying out in a stable coin or your cryptocurrency that you choose. Now, you take that same $1 million and split it among the golden gamblers. That's $900 for each one you own passively. Now you can see the true, exactly. So you just see the true value of it. It's literally a utility hold for me, because you could see people own passive income off of dividends, off of crypto staking. And now people are owning passive income off of NFTs. You can see people tweet, I just increased my yearly income by $1,000 by buying this NFT project.
Wow.
This is real. You know what I'm saying? And so not this particular NFT project, but I'm just talking about in general. Yeah. Because this is still like in development.
Yeah, this is sick, dude. Like that's the thing that's going to be big too, is like you're hearing more about staking, like 25% APY to stake your tokens. Like, and now they're starting to implement. There's a lot of tokens out there that are implementing NFTs and allowing you to stake your NFTs to earn passive income. Like that's the name of the game. Like you go to if anybody right now, you go to Chase Bank or Wells Fargo or wherever you hold your crypto, your cash, your fiat, your stinky fiat. You go there, and guess what? They're giving you like 0.001% API. It's like, what on earth even is that? That's nothing. You go to crypto, and it's like you can earn 10%, 5%, 8%, like for staking your cryptocurrency. So ultimately, I think that's where this game is going, and I think more people are going to start staking NFTs and start to utilize their NFTs to earn passive income. But yeah, it's where we're going, man.
For sure, man. And so just kind of wanted to talk to you about mine. I'm gonna make a video on it as well because I haven't done anything. I tweeted about it, but I'm gonna make a video kind of breaking down the project. But anything that you want to talk about or share to the stream that you've been thinking about, because we've talked about a lot of positive things, but we got to briefly touch on kind of the inflation that's happened, briefly.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, we knew it was coming. And that's why I got into crypto full time. Like, you asked earlier, like when you kind of get into crypto and doing the content, like I went pretty much all in on crypto when the US government printed $5 trillion out of nowhere. And I was like, this is going to come back and this is going to cause hyperinflation. That's what a lot of people thought. Inflation rates rose 7.5%. And guess what? The people are still making the same amount of money. And guess what? The rents are going up. The price of gas. I live in California. It is now accepted to have a $5 gallon of gas. No one questions it. Well, like, what is going on? It's $5 per gallon. People can't afford that. And they just look, there's no, like, people are still making the same amount of money. And it's tough. Like, the rich just keep getting richer. The middle class is now becoming the lower class, and the lower class is not able to survive. So this is why crypto is exciting. This is why I got into crypto. I understood when they printed $5 trillion out of thin air, 25% of the supply of US dollars ever overnight. I said, where is this money coming from? I said, hyperinflation is going to come. And here we are. I mean, how long have we been in the pandemic? It's almost been about 2 years, which is insane. But now we're starting to see that inflation's at 7.5%. Your milk, your eggs, like that stuff adds up. It was tough to survive before the inflation kicked in. And here we are today, Mike. I mean, I understand that a lot of people are struggling out there. I mean, how can you afford to live, Mike? If you're a single mother, that has to work 2 jobs, and you have kids and you have to drive them around, and you want to provide a good life, and a gallon of gas is $5 and the milk carton's $4 and eggs are now $6. It's like, look, man, we need this. And I think that's where crypto comes into play.
I agree. And you can see the utility as well. You can pretty much anything you can spend fiat with, you can use your crypto to buy, whether it's a car, a hotel, food. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's scary. And I feel for a lot of people because I think about it all the time. Like, every time I pull over to get gas and it's $70 to fill up a Volkswagen, like I have a normal car, bro, that stuff adds up. And it's like, yeah, I've worked minimum wage jobs. Like, my first job a couple of years ago, I was folding towels at the gym for $10 an hour. And I understood, like, I'd have roommates. I literally had to split a room with somebody, right? And I'm blessed now that I've found the YouTube, and I was working full time and whatnot, so I've built something for myself. But yeah, I understand that a lot of people are not in the same position, and the people need help, man. And right now the government is I don't think is doing a good job, and that is another reason. Like, every time that the government has blunders and messes up, like, crypto becomes that much more appealing.
True, and I think we're only gonna see. Wow, we got a nice super chat. I gotta show some love to that.
Chris Morales, homie.
Chris Morales. Sorry, I messed your name up, man. He said, "First, God bless both of you. My good content, and my brother Jake. I'm so proud of you. I'm excited to see you chase your dreams. Love your goat, bro."
This is my guy CM. Say Thomas CM. I met him in Vegas. He's honestly like it's kind of crazy how you can like just connect with somebody online, and obviously I met him in person, but he's a great human being. Like, this is a guy that like I would go to war for. Like, I would take a bullet for this guy. Like, he's that solid. He knows I love him, and he's partnering. You see at the end, your goat, bro. He's partnering. I think he's like the lead dev of the goat token, the greatest of all time token. So maybe we can. I'll introduce you to him afterwards. But shout out to Chris Morales, CM, great guy.
Man, shout out to you, man, and thanks for showing the love, man. Appreciate you. And I don't know what you're doing yet, but best of wishes to you, man. I'm always trying to send positivity to everyone, man.
That's it, man. That's what we're about on this stream and your stream and just in our life, man. It's like there's a lot of I'll just say it how it is. I shoot it. There's a lot of scumbags in crypto, man. Like, there's people that literally will build tokens, build NFTs, like build websites and Discords and all that, and like pull the rug on their investors, and it's disgusting. So I've always enjoyed your content because like you're always bringing like the best content to your subscribers, and like really trying to help. And like, I think that's needed in the crypto space. Like you're bringing people plays that like you really believe in. And dude, you've made me, I owe you a trip to Bahamas. Like I said, you've made me a lot of money. Your BTT plays back in, what was it, April or May? Like what, like you were like, I think this thing's going to hit a cent or whatever it did. And like, dude, BTT
Yeah,
went
I
crazy.
did the first video in April back when it was 1/10 of a penny, and then it hit a cent. Well, 1.4 in April. And then since then it pulled back. They did the redenomination and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and you like, also I respect you for telling it how it is. Like there's not enough content creators out there like that are saying, hey, when you're up on these tokens, like take some profits. Like I remember you saying that in your videos. Like I probably will take a profit when it hits this. I'll probably take another profit when it hits this. And I think the hold till you die mentality is almost, it's not healthy. I think if we're talking about Bitcoin or Ethereum, like I might say that, like, hey, I'm going to hold this stuff long term. But for these smaller altcoin projects, let's say you put in $1,000 and it turns into 10,000. Like, hey, take out your initial investment. That's okay. You don't have to hold forever. But I think it just depends on the tokens that we're talking about, right?
Agreed. And I think it's good to say not to get, and for me being a long-term person, not to get married to an investment. But when you've like done the research and you know what's coming, you just got to be patient. It's like people who's buying Bitcoin at these prices. You're not going to see a 10x no time soon in Bitcoin. Let's just be real. So you're going to have to hold. Even if you're buying a full one, you're not going to see a 10x not right now. It's going to take a couple years before we get there. You know what I'm saying? So even with that being,
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there. But I honestly believe that we will see a 10x. Like it's $30,000 or $40,000 for Bitcoin. It's like, yeah, just like you have to zoom out. Like, yes, I understand. Like if you look at the daily news, like Russia's doing this and Ukraine and the US government, but like understand where this thing is going. Like Mike and I will still be doing podcasts and live streams 5 to 10 years from now. We're going to be like, oh my God, we just hit 100,000 Bitcoin, 100,000, 150,000 Bitcoin. Like it will continue to go. But yeah, I think those longer term projects are obviously safer, but they're not going to have the same return. But at the end of the day, man, they're way better returns than the traditional way of investing, which is a Roth IRA or a 401k where you get very little back returns each year. So ultimately, I agree with you there. It's like, yeah, it's not going to be a quick, easy return on your investment, but I do believe that we're going to keep seeing this thing continue to go up, and it might go down first, Mike. We might see a $30,000 Bitcoin or 25,000 or even a 15, but obviously it's like long term. I do believe that these things are going to keep going up.
Agreed. Because Chris Morales, man, showing some more love. He said, hey, it has to be about positivity. You know me, brother. You saw me go from lost to found. Between God, my family, and wonderful crypto family, I'm now healthy in and out, plus spirituality. And so one thing I am big on is just positivity. If you're not a super spiritual person, try to take the positivity from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's important because like, we were doing these streams and I know Sam was like going through hard times. I think he checked in. I don't want to give out, or I guess it was public, but he checked into a facility, was going through rough times. And I'm so happy to say that he found himself and is in a much better place. And that's just what the power of community will do, right? It's like, and I'm coming from the 𝗖𝗢𝗠 community where we built something just special, dude. Like in 𝗖𝗢𝗠, CM was part of that. Christine was part of that. And I think it goes, look, life is tough for a lot of people. It's tough for me. It's tough for you, Mike. I'm sure it's tough for everybody in the stream. Like we all have issues. And there's something powerful about having community and like supportive people in your life that, they might give you inspiration. They might give you some motivation. They might show you like that there is a chance, right? But yeah, it's important to know, like, look, life is tough for a lot of people. And ultimately, like, having communities and having friends and doing good things for yourself and getting some momentum is something that's important that will get you back on that right track.
I agree. And speaking of doing podcasts later down the road, just a quick little leak here. I believe soon me and Mr. Jake will be trying to go live a lot more monthly. So basically we're going to try, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, but try to do 2 live streams a month, one on Jake's channel and one on my channel.
100%. We're going to set it up consistently. We're going to have fun, and we'll probably have guests come on and we'll interview tokens and like we'll do some fun stuff together. Like we're literally like, there might be a stream where it's just you and I, and we bring on 3 tokens to shill us their project, and we'll give them our honest answers. Nope, good, yep, bad. Like we'll have some fun. We'll make it entertaining. But yeah, if you guys are watching right now, come check out my channel at @𝗕𝗥𝗬𝗣𝗧𝗢. You'll see the name right here on YouTube. You're going to be seeing more of Mike and myself. And I want to give a huge shout out because even I think Mike, I probably had 100 subscribers on YouTube, and I reached out to you. And I was like, hey man, like you're the reason I'm getting into crypto. You're the reason I'm going to start doing content. Like, will you come on my show? And you're like, no problem. And that was probably one of my favorite interviews that we've ever done. So yeah, I think it'll be fun, man. I enjoy talking to you. I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm gonna give you the biggest hug you've ever felt. But we're gonna be doing it more consistently, man, and just having fun, dude, and just trying to make crypto fun and bring good projects and good information to the people that watch us on a daily basis.
Yeah, for sure. Are you coming to the Bitcoin conference in April?
Yep, Bitcoin conference. I need to buy my ticket. I think that's the only way to do it. I'm thinking about it, Mike. I'm thinking about going to Dubai in March.
Okay. I'll be in Atlanta in March, and then I will be in the Bitcoin conference in April.
Yeah, I think God, that's a lot of crypto and a lot of travel. I'm a homebody, but I think now that I'm full time, you got to do it. And I might bring my content creator with me to do it, to record it and meet people and do interviews and whatnot. But yeah, I'm actually more excited about the Dubai one. I haven't bought tickets to either one, but I've never been to Dubai. It looks dope. It's a crypto conference.
I heard it's beautiful, man.
I might have to do it. I might have to pull the trigger.
When's the actual date on the Dubai one?
March 16th and 17th. I know there's a lot of cryptocurrencies that are going out there, and like flights are not that bad. I mean, you would think like a flight to Dubai would be $2,000, like a flight to Dubai is like $1,000, and I mean, like from California to Florida, Miami, like a flight to Florida is like 600, 700. So it might be something that I have to do. Obviously, I have to check all those COVID statuses and whatnot, and if you can leave the country and all that stuff. But yeah, I think both of them. I might have to, man. You only live once, Mike. Tomorrow's not promised, and guess what? Crypto conferences seem like a lot of fun. So I think we might have to go to both.
Yeah, this will be my second one, man. So I went last year, was my first one, man. So it'll be exciting. I met a lot of people. That's where I actually met Steven Ehrlich.
Yeah.
I've been able to actually really connect with him personally. So man, it's fun, man. It's fun. I'm actually gonna have my wife. She's gonna be with me as well. So it'll be her first Bitcoin conference, man. So it'll be pretty exciting.
It's gonna be dope, man. And dude, you have to make the intro to Steven if you can. I would love to talk to him and maybe
I
get him on
got
the
you.
stream.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you.
That would be dope. Yeah, but I think so what was it like last time? I mean, how would you explain it, right? Like sell it to me if you can, because I'm on the fence, but it's like, is it something that I'll go and I'll be like, oh, I'm glad I went to that event?
So I will say if you're going for the networking, absolutely. Because I wasn't per se like sitting in on like the talks and stuff like that, which you can hear them on like the screens they had set up outside if you're walking by. But I was more so going to the vendors, networking with different crypto projects, different companies who's getting into, crypto. So more so for me, it was a networking expo type event.
Cool. Yeah, I'm in. You know what? As soon as this stream ends, I'm buying my Bitcoin Miami ticket. And then we'll think about Dubai, but I think Miami is it's a sure go. I'm from Florida, so maybe I can stop by in Tampa and see the family on the way, and then head down there for Miami. What date is it?
I believe it is the 15th, 16th, and 17th. Let me check.
Of April?
Yeah. No. It's actually my birthday weekend. It's the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Excuse me. April 5th, 6th, and 7th. I believe.
That's my brother's birthday. I was like, he's turning 30, and hopefully he's not watching this. We're gonna do a surprise on his birthday on the 15th. But yeah, man, I think it's gonna be a go. So yeah, if you recommend it, and obviously it's like I know a lot of people that are going, so consider it done. Ticket is bought for the Bitcoin conference, and then I guess we got to work on the Dubai thing. But why not, man? Why not? Why not send them both?
Man, let me know. I'm not gonna make the Dubai thing, but man, that would be dope. Let me know how it is, man.
For sure. 100%.
So, man, also, if you're still on the stream, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Jake's show is in the description, so just click on that. It'll take you right over to his channel. Like you said, if you're one of those people who like small gems, this is the guy you want to talk to. As you guys know, I'm a little bit more conservative in some areas, but hey, we balance each other out. So if you want to look at that, definitely go ahead and give Jake a subscribe. He gives great content, a lot of great energy, as you can see on the stream. And Jake, anything you want to tell the people, man?
I mean, it's just first off, I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. It's like you could be doing anything with your time, and you're joining Mike and myself. And yeah, like Mike said, if you guys are interested in checking out some content and learning more about some of those smaller tokens, like I do token reviews for projects. I have tokens on for live AMAs. We party a lot. We have some fun. We get the music going. So yeah, if you would. If you want to subscribe, feel free to subscribe. We're going to be bringing you good content, but just want to say what's up, and I appreciate you guys. And honestly, I hope that everybody is having a good day. It's Friday, and I have a question for the chat. I'm in LA, a little bit south of LA. Who do we got in the Super Bowl? We got the Bengals versus the Rams. Who do we got? Let us know in the chat. Mike, who do you got? I got to ask you.
Man, dude, I am kind of neutral. I'm not like a super huge football fan, but if I had to pick, man, I don't know, man. I don't think it's fair because I don't really know who's on who. But if I went off of teams, I would probably say, even though I'm a Midwest person, I'll probably say the Bengals.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I haven't really watched too much football. I just know it's in LA. I know it's, the Rams are playing in LA. It's a huge event. So I hope LA wins I want to go to the Super Bowl parade, and, I want the city to have some happiness and life back. So we'll see. But let's see what the chat says. I know CM's got to have a take on that. Christine's got to have a take, Bengals or Rams. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great weekend. What do you have planned for the rest of the week and the rest of the month?
Who, for me?
Yeah.
Man, rest of the week, I'm finishing. This was a busy week as far as content. I got the rest of the week scheduled as far as content. It's just recording, getting it edited, stuff like that. And then preparing for my trip coming up next month. And I'm also working on a business as well with two other gentlemen behind the scenes that I've been working on. So been extremely busy, man. Been really busy. So that'll be coming up more. I believe we are launching in April, I believe. So yeah, a lot of big things going on behind the scenes, man.
I love it, man. That's how you have to do. You have to stay busy, work hard and collaborate. Can you tell us a little bit about the business partnership? I mean, what is that looking like? As much detail as you can. I'm sure like there's a lot that you want to keep in house.
Okay, so it's three of us, me and two other gentlemen, and basically, without giving too much info, we're going to provide a platform for people in different areas. So it won't just be crypto, it won't just be stocks. It'll be more than that we will be, giving to the people. So kind of giving them that shortcut to certain information.
I like that. It sounds like it's going to be a legit business. I'm excited to see that. Have you ever thought about launching an NFT? For yourself?
Honestly, yes. However, I've created some as well, just having fun. But yes, it's just connecting with the right person. You know what I mean? And figuring it out. But yeah, I'm open, man, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, I see like two of my buddies, Austin Hilton and Zach Humphreys, they're launching an NFT company, and they look dope. It's called Rich Rabbit Club, but they look pretty legit. But I think it's just a cool way, especially if it has some utility where it's like people can connect with you on a deeper level. Like if I watch your content, obviously I'm creating content now, but if it was like, hey, I get a weekly FaceTime with you, like to own your NFT, like that's something I would do, right? So I think NFTs are going to be a pretty big word. Gary Vee was saying that at the beginning of 2021. It's like it proved to be true, but I think NFTs are going to continue to be very, very big, and hopefully it stays this way. Obviously, I feel like the crypto market is in like a pretty interesting position right now. Like it's the moment of truth for crypto, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. But yeah, I was shocked to see. I mean, I thought everything was feeling very, very bullish. Bitcoin was back to 45K, and now we're back down to 42K. So it's interesting to see what's happening here in the crypto space.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of Gary Vee, huge fan, man, huge fan of Gary Vee, and he was like, kids should learn about NFTs compared to going to college. Literally, that's what he said.
I mean, he's obviously against college. He didn't go to college. He wasn't a good learner. But I agree with him. Like I went to college and I was in debt for like literally probably like 35K to get a piece of paper that now I don't even use because I'm making YouTube content, right? So it's like I see both sides. I think if you're niche down and you're going to be like a doctor or a lawyer or a pharmacist, like yeah, go to college. But for me personally, it's like I went to college and I think I graduated like a liberal arts degree, and I ended up with 35K in debt. So yeah, I think when I have kids, which I'm far away from, knock on wood, just kidding. But when I have kids, I'll probably have that conversation. Like I'll probably tell my kid, like if I had a kid today, right? Like, and he was 18, let's just say I was a little bit older. I would be like, hey, take a year off, go travel. I'll pay for it. Go travel, go explore, find out what you want to do. Do you want to go to school to be a niche down person, or do you want to like maybe create content or try something else, right? So I think a lot of people in America just jump right into college because it's the next thing to do. But a lot of people understand like you end up like getting in debt, man. Like, dude, being in debt. I don't know if like you've had debt or anybody that's in debt, but bro, it is a heavy feeling that only you understand when you have it. Like my buddy, I was talking to him about it. He's like, he's never had debt. I'm like, you don't understand. I'm like, that shit weighs on you. You check your credit card or whatever, and you see that you owe the government $28,000. Like, I don't care if you don't have to pay it yet because the pandemic, like that shit weighs on you. So yeah, I mean, you know, if I could go back to my college days, like I probably would have made a different decision, no doubt.
Agreed. And for me, just to be transparent, I went 1 full year and completed it to get a bachelor's in management and business administration. Well, completed 1 year and then didn't go back. Now they did give me a letter though. I had a 3.6 GPA. So I mean, I handled my business while I was there. Just after that first year, I never went back. You know, and so here we are today. And so I don't knock anything because my wife, she has 4 degrees. So I mean, she's the complete opposite compared to me. So I mean, I don't knock anyone. I think it all depends on what works for you. I just think we're in a time now where we have so much information that we have access to. You just got to figure out how to organize it to make it work for you.
Yeah, and I'm a proponent of NFTs. I have no idea what Gary Vee's talking about, saying you should learn about NFTs instead of go to college. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. Like what is that going to do? Like you learn about NFTs, but no, I think he's actually right though. It's like if you kind of find what NFTs are hot and you put a little bit of money in, like you could flip it into something crazy. Like I know a lot of people that bought Bored Ape Yacht Clubs around 0.4 ETH, and now they're worth $400,000. So like they put $400 in. So obviously those are the rare cases, but I think he's just trying to give other people options. Like it's not always so cookie cutter, like graduate high school, go to college, get a degree, party a little bit, go to the corporate world, work a job. Like I think the internet's creating different avenues, and you and I are both doing it. Like Mike and I are just normal guys. We're just normal guys, that are creating content. Like this is what we do for a living now, so it's like, it doesn't have to be about crypto. That's what I always say to people. I'm like, if you're passionate about something, start talking about it. Like it could be something as simple as like reviewing energy drinks. Like there's a niche for that, reviewing energy drinks, reviewing speakers, and you get the best speakers, and then speaker companies come up to you and say, Mike, can you do a speaker like review for us? There you go. Right. So it's like, whatever you're passionate about, I always recommend to people, like, start talking about it online. Just, it doesn't matter. You're going to, like, when I first started, I had 0 subscribers. When Mike first started, he had 0 subscribers. But if you put in work, you're passionate and you enjoy what you're doing, like there's a lot of money to be made online. And you might not be good on camera like Mike is. Mike's very good on the camera. But you might be better at typing. You can start a blog. You might be better at writing. You might be a ghostwriter for somebody. So yeah, I'm all about like trying to motivate people to get out of like the traditional world, the corporate world, and whatever else they're in, the 9 to 5, and like create online, because it truly is something that's life-changing. I mean, you'd probably agree.
I completely agree. I think whatever it is, man, you could be successful. Like seriously, I mean, we literally we live in a time where there's a market for everything, whether it makes sense to you or not. There is a community of people who it makes sense to. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it is very important, if you have any type of ambitions, goals, anything like that, you should do it. You should do it for sure. I mean, let's just show you some, and not saying everyone growth will happen this way, but give them your growth from where you started on YouTube from January to December on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube was 0 subscribers in March of 2021 to 50,000 in December, I believe, or January. So like 10 months to 50,000. And then Twitter was zero followers on Twitter to over 100,000. Like that one is kind of crazy. I don't know how that happened. Like it was just, I mean, but it's like I kind of got lucky and found the right communities and whatnot. And like, just, I feel like if you post content that people want to follow, like they'll follow you. I try to make it fun. I try to just be myself, but it's never been about the numbers or the followers for me. It's about the impact. And like I understand, like now that my channel's kind of grown a little bit, like like you too, like we have responsibility to bring good projects, and like we're in the crypto space, and guess what? I'm going to bring projects on, and some of the times they might hit. Some of the times they might not, but my job is to vet these projects, make sure they're legit, and then to bring good projects to the people, because it's like, dude, people listen to us. People are like, hey, Mike's talking about this token. Like, Mike, you were talking about BTC. I trust you. I put money in, and it worked. But guess what? There's probably other projects that you've talked about, and I like that's the only one I've tried. But I might have lost money. But it's like, it's because I trust you. I know you're doing your due diligence, and like you're educated in this. But to bring that back, yeah, like crazy growth, and it might not happen like that. It might happen quicker. Like my growth, like you might grow quicker, but the one thing that I'm proud of myself for doing is getting started, because I almost
Yeah.
didn't. I almost did not. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go on the camera and do this. And like, I got started and it changed my life. I left the corporate world and I can't imagine going back. Can't imagine going back. Like,
dude, I hear you.
yeah.
I hear you, man. And it's no knock to anyone, man. You got to get it how you get it, And so, and just for me, I hit 5,000, I believe, in January. And then at the end of last year, December, I had a little over 70,000
That's
subscribers.
insane.
You know what I mean? So the growth is there. You know what I mean? And so I think anyone can do it, man. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what you want to do, your drive, your passion. And then a lot of people don't look at. I used to get 10 views on each video when I was talking about stocks, and now look, you know what I mean? So you just got to keep going until you figure it out,
bro. Like I was interviewing meditation coaches and the founders of gyms. Like I had I had 5,000 streams on my podcast, like 5,000 listens in a year. So like each episode was getting like 10 listens, 20 listens, but it's like, and I wanted to quit doing that, because it's like, if you're not getting like the growth, you're like, what's the point, right? I'm spending hours on this stuff, creating the artwork and posting it. But you just have to keep going. Like you have to keep on going, never quit as that. And I love that sign in the back. It says, don't quit, but it also says, do it. Like that's dope. But like, never quit. Just keep going. If you're passionate about something, just keep going. Keep a positive effort. Keep working hard. As CM said, he said, anyone who has the will and drive can succeed in almost anything. And I 100% agree. Like it's all about work ethic. It's all about being a good person. It's all about working hard, and great things can happen. So shout out to Christine, one of the greatest people in the crypto space. She deserves to hear that recognition because she truly is one of the greatest people, person in the crypto space. And her beautiful daughter, 𝗬𝗢. Shout out to 𝗬𝗢.
Shout out. But yeah, man, if you guys got any questions in the stream, go ahead and drop it real quick before we get out of here. I know Jake got some things to do, as well as I. So yeah, definitely go ahead and give him a follow. His YouTube channel link is in the description. So definitely give him a follow if you like learning about new cryptos with a lot of energy. Jake is going to bring that to you each and every video.
A lot of energy, a lot of fun. And look, I think that's one of the reasons it's like crypto should be fun. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It should be fun to learn about. And it's like, that's one of the things that we do. And that's why the streams are going to be good. We're going to be doing more streams here. Mike and JG, it might be called the Mike and JG show. I don't know. Every Monday, Mike and JG, 4 p.m. And we'll have different projects on, and we'll talk to people, and we'll bring Christina on, we'll bring CM on, right? Like we'll bring people on. Like that's what it's about. It's all about community, and we'll have some fun, and we'll do some stuff and make it happen, man.
Yeah, we can either do the MJ podcast or the JM podcast.
I like that. I like MJ.
For Mike and Jake.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Jordan. We like the MJ podcast, and we'll have some fun, man. And that's what it's about. Like now that we're creating content, like we have to create. It's like you have to create and have fun, and I think streaming is going to be a good way to do that.
Man, no doubt, man. But hey, I want to say thanks for coming on the stream, man. We definitely going to be doing it again. Look forward to coming onto your stream, and thanks for coming on, brother.
Absolutely. That was a good first one. Shout out to everybody that was listening. Have a good weekend. We love you. Thank you for spending your Friday afternoon with JM, the MJ podcast. And we will see you next week for another episode.
We will be here. And remember, if you haven't made it to millionaire status yet, it will happen. Just be patient. And we are out.
Peace. And we see your comments.